Welcome back to Dinar Community Channel. What if the $5 in your wallet could unlock $1 million future? While the world sleeps on Iraq's silent financial revolution, a small but growing group of investors is quietly positioning themselves for a currency move that could rival the greatest wealth transfers in history. This isn't hype, it's a calculated opportunity, and the window is narrowing fast. The truth behind the Iraqi dinar has been hidden for years, until now. The $5 bill might seem ordinary, something you hand over for a coffee, stash in your wallet, or forget in a coat pocket. But what if that same amount, redirected into a little-known foreign currency, had the power to unlock a fortune beyond imagination? This is not just a fantasy whispered about in shadowy corners of financial forums, it's a rapidly unfolding reality in the world of the Iraqi dinar IQD. For those paying attention, that humble $5 could be the seed of a seven-figure legacy. In recent years, talk of a revaluation (RV) of the Iraqi dinar has captured the attention of a growing global community of investors. To some, it's dismissed as hyper-speculation. To others, especially those digging deeper and connecting the geopolitical, economic, and financial dots, it's the most underappreciated opportunity of this century. What these early adopters have realized is something the mainstream has largely ignored, until now. So how can a single $5 bill become the key to financial freedom? The answer lies in exchange rates, timing, international policy, and a re-emerging Iraq that is determined to reclaim its position in the global economy. Let's begin by unpacking the potential hidden in the Iraqi dinar. Currently, the IQD trades at a fraction of a penny to the US dollar. That means $1 can buy thousands of Iraqi dinars. At today's rate, even $5 can secure around 6,000 to 8,000 Iraqi dinars. Now imagine a scenario where the Iraqi government, in coordination with international financial institutions, revalues its currency to a rate even remotely approaching its historical levels, pre-2003, when it traded at over $3 USD to 1 IQD. The implications of such a shift are staggering. If one Iraqi dinar were to equal just $1 USD post-revaluation, a person holding 8,000 Iraqi dinars purchased for $5 would instantly have $8,000. But it doesn't stop there. Many investors aren't buying just once. They're quietly accumulating thousands or even millions of dinars, recognizing that the wind may soon change direction. Iraq is no longer the war-torn image most people still associate with the country. It's emerging from decades of instability with stronger infrastructure, growing oil exports, digital modernization, and a government increasingly pushing for financial sovereignty and global integration. The groundwork is being laid for a robust economy, and with that comes the potential recalibration of its currency to reflect real market value. Skeptics have long pointed out that revaluations of this magnitude are rare. But history offers several examples that defy this logic. The Kuwaiti dinar, after the Gulf War, was reinstated to its previous value once the political and economic landscape stabilized. Likewise, the German Deutsche Mark and Japanese yen saw massive shifts following World War II. What these examples share is that they were driven by economic rebuilding, global support, and a nation determined to restore its financial independence, all elements that Iraq now possesses. Further fueling this fire are growing whispers from inside the banking world. Reports have surfaced of major financial institutions like JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo updating internal systems to accommodate new currency values. While these claims are difficult to verify through mainstream channels, the sheer consistency and volume of such reports suggest that something substantial is underway behind the scenes. Adding to the intrigue are movements by the International Monetary Fund (IMF), World Bank, and the Central Bank of Iraq. These organizations have quietly released statements pointing to a restructured financial roadmap for Iraq. The country has entered into significant international agreements, developed new digital payment systems, and launched reform plans that require a stable and trusted national currency. And then there's the silence. A telling, almost deafening quiet from government channels that, according to many seasoned investors, typically signals impending transformation. Currency revaluations are not advertised ahead of time, they are triggered, often suddenly, under tightly managed conditions to prevent speculative chaos. When the moment comes, it will be swift, shocking, and irreversible. Those holding IQD will either be in the right place at the right time, or left watching from the sidelines. Still, many ask, is it too good to be true? The idea that a $5 investment could become worth thousands or even millions seems outrageous. But only to those who overlook history's quiet revolutions. Currency values are not fixed by logic alone, they are shaped by geopolitical strategy, national policy, and market confidence. All of these levers are now moving in Iraq's favor. One critical element of the revaluation theory involves oil. Iraq sits atop the fifth largest proven oil reserves in the world. As global energy dynamics shift and more nations seek to diversify away from petrodollar dominance, Iraq's oil wealth becomes a bargaining chip, and a reason to stabilize its currency. A stronger dinar would allow Iraq to trade more efficiently, negotiate better international contracts, and pay down debt with greater leverage. It would also entice foreign investors to pour capital into a reinvigorated economy, if the currency is trusted and predictable. Beyond the oil factor, Iraq's recent deals with China, the UAE, and regional economic alliances have also increased pressure to normalize its currency. In a world increasingly drifting toward multipolar finance, the IQD may be positioned as more than just a local note. It could become a regional trade tool or part of a larger basket of currencies in new global settlements. Any one of these developments could dramatically affect its exchange rate. The practical steps to becoming part of this movement are shockingly simple. IQD can be legally purchased through verified dealers, licensed currency brokers, and even specific banking channels, although availability has tightened in recent months. With just a few dollars, a person can begin accumulating a position, something that would be nearly impossible with traditional investments, which often require substantial upfront capital. But while the opportunity is open to everyone, not everyone will benefit. Many will laugh, scoff, or hesitate. History shows that in moments of major economic change, the greatest wealth is often captured by those willing to act while others wait. And it's not just about money, it's about mindset. Understanding that we are living in a time of global restructuring, digital finance revolutions, and sovereign shifts gives power to those who prepare, question, and move with strategy. Then there are the traps. As with any high-potential investment, the IQD market is not without danger. Scammers, fake dealers, and counterfeit notes have flooded the space in recent years. This underscores the importance of due diligence, secure purchasing methods, and verified authentication. Reputable platforms often provide certificates of authenticity, serial tracking, and educational materials to help investors stay informed and protected. There's also the issue of exit strategy. Once a revaluation occurs, it's critical to understand how and where to exchange IQD. Not every financial institution will participate at the same level. Some may offer standard rates, while others, especially private exchange groups, may provide higher contract rates for larger holdings. Structured payouts, tax guidance, and financial planning become essential to maximize gains and avoid common post-RV mistakes. Many seasoned investors are already preparing their exchange playbooks, working with attorneys, CPAs, and trust specialists to safeguard wealth and maintain long-term control. In many ways, the IQD-RV is not just a financial event, it's a generational wealth transfer that will create new millionaires and billionaires from the unlikeliest backgrounds. So back to that $5 bill. It could be 5 minutes of parking, a burger combo, or an overlooked tip. But in the hands of a visionary, it could become something extraordinary. That same $5, swapped for IQD, tucked into a safe or secure wallet, might one day return enough to pay off a mortgage, fund a child's education, or bankroll a legacy. The truth is that the Iraqi dinar is no longer just a speculative currency, it's a symbol of transformation. It represents a nation on the rise, a global system in flux, and the hidden opportunities that still exist outside Wall Street's spotlight. The mainstream may laugh, but those who understand history, economics, and geopolitical timing know better. It's not about being reckless. It's about being ready. If you look at the great wealth shifts of the past, the rise of cryptocurrencies, the explosion of tech stocks, the dot-com boom, many of those moments began with doubt, disbelief, and ridicule. But those who dared to believe, those who held on even when logic said otherwise, found themselves on the right side of history. The IQD could be the next such moment. The revaluation isn't just about numbers, it's about narrative. It's the story of a country reclaiming power, a people rising from hardship, and a currency once forgotten now positioned for greatness. If and when it happens, the window will be short. Banks will move fast, policies will shift overnight, and that $5 decision made months or years earlier could define an entire future. Even if the rate never reaches $3 or $1, what if it hits just 10 cents? That's still a 100x return. And what other asset class offers that kind of upside with such minimal entry cost? The IQD movement is not for everyone. It requires patience, vision, and an ability to look beyond headlines. But for those who feel the pulse of change, who sense the rhythm of reawakening economies, it offers a rare door into a financial reality most only dream of. That's the hidden truth, and it's finally being exposed. So the next time you see a $5 bill, don't just see a lunch option. See a lever, a key, a possible future. One decision can change everything. One currency, one window, one moment. Will you be ready? Because the hidden IQD truth is no longer hiding, and millions are already moving. The question now is simple. Are you going to be part of the crowd that watches, or the few who prepare and win? Like and subscribe for more videos.